Yeah, YouTube, Big Mike, without further ado, Retro. Sorry I've been away for a bit. What have we been up to, really? Well, just trying to sort of get through this British heatwave we're having. It's been an absolute nightmare. when you're like my size, if you're not trying to imagine what it's like being like this, put about 4 fur coats on and try and see how you get on with walking about in this heat. It's an absolute nightmare. So, all you want to do is sort of crash out. The heat's been absolutely unbearable. So I haven't really been doing that many pickups either. But I thought I'd do a bit of a different video. So what I'm going to do is show you the gifts that I received when Old School came up for the Bristol Retro Gaming event, and then show you what little pickups I have been picking up here and there. Just a few little sort of trinkets. So okay. Right, okay. Right, when Old School came up to stay with me for the Bristol Gaming event, he kindly brought some gifts. We done some sort of basically, I gave him some gifts, he gave me some gifts. So I told him basically I didn't have a very good joystick for my Spectrum, so because he always wondered why I played on keys. I enjoy playing on keys probably better, but on some games you do need a decent joystick. So Old School kindly gifted me this Cheetah 125, which he's in pretty good condition. I think he's gone over it and sort of made sure it all works and everything, which is really nice of him. Probably one of the better joysticks on the Spectrum, to be honest. There wasn't really that many great joysticks on the Spectrum, in my opinion. So I remember having one of these back in the day. So I'll be glad to play with this Cheetah 125 on the Specky and see if it improves me sort of Renegade playability. Me Renegade playing anyway. So he also gifted me a nice microswitch joystick. You can't beat a microswitch joystick. Generally, me weapon of choice on the Amiga is the Python. I have a couple of Pythons, but I don't have one of these. It's also another quick shot joystick, and very nicely microswitch. So I'll look forward to using that. Perhaps that'll improve my IK Plus playing. Also, just a bit of a thing. I was always into sort of Michael Jackson as a kid, so he had some of these sealed promotional Michael Jackson promotion for the Dangerous tour, I believe. I think personally that was when he started going downhill, really, old Jacko. But you can't really sort of deny that from Off the Wall, Beat It, and Bad is absolutely fantastic. Dangerous, I believe he started going a bit downhill then. But nevertheless, these are you're not really going to see these about. They're a future collectible, if not collectible already. I asked for 2, so one I could have a listen to and one I could keep sealed. So that was very, very cool. You're not going to see those about in the wild very often. So that was those. There's a bit of a load of CDs there, which I can't really sort of go through because our kid knows what it's about. I know what it's about. It's education, past, present, and future, I believe, and you'll hopefully you'll sort of find out with that. So, but very, very interesting, a musical education for myself, and pretty cool actually, pretty good, very eye-opening, very, very good, very good. And a couple of games that I asked for that he had, which is Psycho Pinball, which is, I thought it was the ones that were converted from the PC Engine, but I believe on the Mega Drive. But no, it's a Codemasters, so that'll be added to collection. I haven't yet to have a go on it yet. It's missing the instructions, unfortunately, but it's a gift, so it's much appreciated, and I should be giving that a go. Fantastic, really, really cool. And another one I asked for that he had was Mass Effect, which is I really, really loved Mass Effect 2. It's the first ever sort of role-playing game that I really got into. If you're not into role-playing games, well, the Mass Effect series is fantastic. So I really got into number 2, Mass Effect. At the time, I didn't have. I wasn't really into TV and that, and I didn't have the internet, so I just used to spend most evenings playing Mass Effect 2. Really, really cool game. And this is the limited edition of Mass Effect on the 360, which I've never seen this edition before, to be honest, which is pretty cool. It comes in a mad steel tin, and then you've got some sort of, this is like a folding case, a cardboard case, with limited edition collectors, bonus content material, and the game there. I'll show it correctly. And then you have the book, and there's a nice there's another book there. Not sure what that's about. Let's have a look. I think it's about sort of story and background and characters, which is pretty interesting, and an art book as well. So, like I say, I started playing Mass Effect from Mass Effect 2, because unfortunately Mass Effect the original didn't get a PS3 release until they released the trilogy. So it's a game that I haven't gone through. I was very excited about this when it came out. I remember being at work. That's a while ago. Being at work and seeing all the sort of the bump that this was coming out and what it was about, and I was really excited about it. I've never been into these type of games as well, which was weird. But like I say, from number 2, I've really enjoyed. I've had 3 and started it and never went on, and I've got the other one as well. But I might start from the first one and do all of them, go through all of them possibly. So yeah, much appreciated that one. Mass Effect limited edition, steel tin on the 360, which is good because I don't have that many 360 games. Apart from the ones I bought from 360 I've never used, which are brand new. So right, that's I believe that's all the pickups from Old School. There's got other bits and pieces, but they're sort of personal pieces that were, I knew about them, he knows about them, so we're cool. So I've got a load of stuff for Old School. When we were here, it was the same as always. Never enough time. I've got a +3 here for Old School. He's got to do a bit of work on, but a few keys need doing, and he needs to replace the belt drive. But I've got quite a few gifts here for Old School. Lotus 2 on the Amiga, a spare one I had, and sort of quite a few different bits and bobs. But as per usual, never enough time. We just ended up having a good time and chatting, watching films and game hunting. And we sort of didn't have the time to sort of go through all the sort of pickups. So unfortunately, he'd sorted out his stuff before coming. And as he knows, I'm very unorganised. So his pickups are spread out amongst my flat. So I'm just, as I'm finding them, I'm digging them and putting them to one side for him. So they're still here, mate. I'm putting them in that box for you. So right, and now on to the sort of pickups that I've been doing. I haven't really been doing a lot. There's one other pickup actually. Actually, there's something here as well. We'll start off with this one. Right, we've got another Miami Chase, which is, I've already got this, but this came up for 99p plus postage. So, as you know, 99p plus postage is about £4. I had to buy it. Fantastic game. Actually, nicer condition than the one I have. It's got a really nice case. So, I shall be keeping the best one and selling on the game that doesn't, keeping the best one and selling on the second one. So that's Miami Chase, really cool game, great soundtrack, very sort of GTA, original GTA sort of type of game. I don't know if you can see it on the graphics there. Don't know. We're trying a new sort of camera angle and new sort of way of filming our stuff as well. So I also managed to pick up another full price release IK Plus disc only. So I have 3 discs of IK Plus. Obviously, one boxed one is going to Steve, and I've got my boxed one and a spare disc now. So I managed to pick the spare disc up for £8, which might sound dear, but when you realise it sort of goes anything up to £100 boxed, it's not that bad. So, and it's always good to have a spare. As Cindy Steve will know. Right, so the next one's this one. Actually, we'll just do it in the order down. Right, it's Mortal Kombat 2. I'm trying to get all the Mortal Kombats for SNES and Mega Drive. Don't know why. I've got them on Amiga as well, 1 and 2. But yeah, loved the Mortal Kombat 2, the series 1, 2, and 3 anyway, at least. So absolutely fantastic. Not the best of condition. Doesn't have a hang tab. Doesn't look like it's ever had a hang tab. This case actually, unless it's upside down. No, it hasn't. So I didn't. Was there cases without hang tabs? And it is a little bit loose inside, and it is missing the instructions. But as a whole, the cover looks cool. Might be slightly sun faded on the side. I'm not sure. But it's a nice case. It's a good clean case. It's a nice clean cartridge. Case is a little bit loose with the holding of the game. But I think I paid about £8 for this, which is pretty good really. I think complete is about 20, usually in decent conditions, 20 plus. You can get it in sort of lesser condition for sort of £10-12. So pick this up for £8. It's a free rattle, and for £8 though, it'll certainly suit me, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up some instructions, maybe upgrade one day. But to be honest, I think that's clean enough to keep in the collection. So that's Mortal Kombat 2. Right. Also with discs, I managed to pick up the full price release discs of Shadow of the Beast 2. Now, you might say, why have you picked up the full price release discs of Shadow of the Beast 2? Well, if a box only ever comes up, or one without discs that work, you'll be able to pick them up at a steal, and I have the working discs. And also, I managed to pick these up for £1.50 delivered. So, I'm not going to argue with that. I paid the £1.50. It was cheeky bid. I think it was just bid in, and 99p start, 50p delivery or something stupid. And I won them, so absolutely fantastic. So, following on with the Mortal Kombat theme, we have Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo. This isn't in the best of condition. It is missing manual, so it's obviously put in a protector just for now. I sort of crushed it out, pressed along the edges to sort of give it a bit of shape. But if I iron it, it'll come up a bit better. But I managed to pick this up for just under £20 or around £20. It's usually a £20 to £30 game, a £30 to £40 game. Sorry, that's complete in nice condition. So to pick up for £20, it'll do me. Hopefully, I'll be able to pick up some instructions, give it an iron, and it'll come up okay. So Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo, absolutely fantastic. So really, really glad I managed to get that one. Another one, this isn't so great, which is Zero Tolerance. I already have this as well. Cheeky 99p bid. Didn't realise it's in bad condition as what it is. And the manual's sort of falling apart, and as you can see, it's all falling apart. It is the proper case though, and the cartridge is clean. So I think this is like £4 all in, delivered. So it was a cheeky bid and I won it, but not the greatest condition. But I have a spare Zero Tolerance, so I should probably sell that at some point, or give it away or something if someone wants it. I don't know, not too sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But the last one is a game that I've been after for quite a while. I'm after it in full price release actually. A bit of a clue. It has 2 full price releases on the Amiga. One is a record sleeve cover, which is the one I'd really like to get. Knowing me, I'll probably get both of them at some point if I can afford it. The record sleeve cover, and the other one is a standard edition, which is like a clamshell, black clamshell. And then you have this release that I've got here. So, without further ado, it is Bubble Bobble. Now, there's 2 reasons that I bought this. Well, it's 3. One, it's a great game, and I don't have the original of it, so It needed to be in the collection. Yeah, really, really cool game. Bubble Bobble, really playable. I don't think I've seen a bad version of this. It's a fantastic game. Obviously, I'll be getting the full price release at some point. But another reason I also bought this was because I've just thrown it on the floor now. It's a really funky disc. It's on a yellow disc, which is really cool. And this is another sort of collecting tangent I'm going down. I think is I'm going to start collecting, or I've already started collecting, strange coloured games discs. I've already got Bubble Bobble now on the yellow disc. I've got Head Over Heels on an orange disc. I was actually going to do it with New Zealand Story, because you can get New Zealand Story in all sorts of different coloured discs and everything. So yeah, so that's another sort of tangent I'm going down, is mad coloured discs collecting. So that's pretty mad and random, but yeah, we're doing that. Like I say, the reason pickup's been a bit slow, because we're not sort of financially where we'd like to be at the moment. So I've been selling a few bits and pieces on eBay, sort of rethinking the collection really. You know, after watching sort of Daz's video and a few chats with a few people here and there, sort of looking at the collection, thinking, you know, I was sort of looking at my collection and thinking, what am I not going to play? What have I got that I've picked up in bundles, or picked up because, you know, some games you get, it's just like, oh, if you've got this system, you have to have this game. It's one of the bigger hitters or whatever. But if you're not going to play them, then what's the point? Like, you know, so I'm sort of whittling it down to stuff that I'm going to play, want to play, but if I'm never going to play it, you know, like I meant a few months ago before the Bristol Game event, I sold my Sambo de Amigo. I bought that for £90, put it up on top of a shelf on display, and it sat there for 3 years. You know, and I didn't even play it. I checked the contents in the box, it was fine, but I never even played it. So I sold that for around the same price, or a little bit more, you know. And I've sold like the Resident Evils. I've got them on GameCube and on Dreamcast. The only Resident Evil that interests me really is Resident Evil 4. You know, which I have. 5 is okay. I have that as well. 6 is okay. I've not really played much of it, and I've got 7. But the ones before that, you know, the original Resident Evil and 0 and this, that and the other, none of them interest me really. They're sort of slow, sluggish, so-called horror games that never really done it for me. I liked a horror game that made me sort of jump and was very atmospheric is Dead Space, which is a great game, great trilogy. Number 3 was going a bit more sort of. I think it was a bit more sort of Gears of War than it was Dead Space, to be honest. But yeah, nonetheless, a game you can get into, and it gives you the old jump scare and that. But the Resident Evil with the tank controls, and you know, doesn't really interest me. And some of those fetch quite good money, so I've sold my GameCube ones of those, or I've got them up on the bay. Also my Dreamcast ones, you know, Dino Crisis and things like that. I'm not going to play those games. I'm not interested in those games, so they're not my type of games. Whereas other people find them fantastic and they love them and they swear by them and they always have a special place. For me, they won't. So why do I need them collecting dust on my shelf when they could be regenerated into money back into my wallet and spent on other retro gaming things that I could be enjoying, or trips in time away. I'm going away this weekend to watch Dylan White become victorious against Joseph Parker. Hopefully, I think he's going to do it. Dylan White's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, also on the card is Derek Chisora versus Takam. That's a very good 50-50 fight. Chisora, when he turns up, he's very good. But you get two. Like you said, there's two Chisoras. One that's not bothered, and one that's absolutely should have been a world champion. You know, so hopefully that'll be a good one to watch as well. And obviously you've got Conor Benn having a rematch with that kiddie that he had a fight with before Christmas. One epic 6-round fight that was. And Conor Benn's a real sort of almost like the second Anthony Joshua, and he, like, you know, I know like a lot of people go on about he's riding on his dad's coattails and that. And yeah, he might have got a few doors open for him with the name Ben. But, you know, it's not his dad that's getting up doing the runs on the cold mornings, doing the training, and also fighting it out in the ring. You know, you got to give it to Conor Benn. He really is a fantastic fighter. And I think he'll go further than his dad. I think because he's got the right head on his shoulders, you know. Nigel Benn was a fantastic fighter. Real pleasure to watch. Real good fights. But we all know he was being a little bit naughty behind the scenes, whereas Conor Benn's got a straight head on him. He's not out drinking, he's not out partying, he's not out with the girls and all that. He's devoting his life to boxing, and that's the difference. And, you know, who knows what Nigel Benn would have been like if he had that head on his shoulders. But fortunately, Conor has learnt from his dad's mistakes, which is very hard to do. But, you know, you've got to give it to Conor. He's his own man. He's a fantastic guy. He is a true gentleman. Shows so much respect for everyone. You know, you watch him after a fight, just been fighting with a geezer. He's going up, making sure he's okay, shakes his hand, gives him, you know, fair fight. He gives a bow to every corner, every side of the ring, showing respect to the crowd. And I think he will go on to be, like you say, where Anthony Joshua is now, I believe Ben will be, Conor will be in a few years, you know, flying the flag. He's already flying the flag for the British boxing scene. But, you know, he's still growing into himself. He's a true gent and a true warrior as well, and I can't wait to see him in action as well. So, really looking forward to that. But then we're tying up the purse strings. We're not spending any more after that. This is what we're saying now in mine. And then it'll be Blackpool in October. So I know I keep going about this, but I need to get that credit card out of the way. Get Play Blackpool under the belt, you know, get money for Play Blackpool, get the funds for the hotel, the funds for the buy-in, the drinking, the shenanigans, and then we're back to Bristol Retro Gaming Market again in November. I think it's November 14th, I've heard, or 15th. So yeah, we'll be flying the flag for that one again. I'll be there. Might even have a stall with old school. So yeah, so we're contemplating on that. Like I say, we're whittling down the parts of the collection that we're not gonna play. You know, why? If someone else can appreciate it and enjoy it, why is it sat on my shelf, just taking up shelf space I could be filling with other retro goodness that I will enjoy? So, okay, YouTube. Like I say, I'm sorry I've been away for quite a while. It's a bit like I say, this weather's been absolutely amazing. Lovely. Get out in it and enjoy it, and I've been trying to do that as much as I can. But in my flat, I live in a top floor flat, and the heat dissipates. It heats up and stays. It doesn't go anywhere. So, you know, you can get up and you can come in and just fall asleep, and before you know it, a whole day's blooming wasted. But it's you got to enjoy the British weather while it's like this. It's lovely. So it's definitely beer garden weather, but we can't do too much. It costs too much to drink out and about nowadays, doesn't it? So, but like I say, it's good to see you all, or good to talk to you all at least. And like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.